Hello and welcome to Shelley's Sacred Space. This is Shelley Speaks. We're going to talk about fidget toys. When fidget toys first kind of came on the scene, a lot of people had concerns with how those are actually helping. And there has been research and proof that it does help. And there's a couple reasons why there is this dilemma. So, one of the reasons for people who are neurotypical, they don't understand being overstimulated. And if they do experience things like that, they have tools to deal with it because it only happens once in a while. Where someone who can be overstimulated on a regular basis, like someone who has ADHD or is on the spectrum of any kind, they don't have the ability to not experience that overwhelm, and therefore they can't just, it doesn't happen just once in a while and they can just leave. It's every single day, every single moment. And that's where the person who doesn't have that experience needs to put themselves in the shoes of somebody who does. They need to think of a situation where they just want it to get out, get away from, and realize that that is how other people feel every single minute of every single day. And then maybe they would have a little understanding. Now, fidget toys have been shown to provide an outlet for excessive energy, reduce anxiety, give your mind something else to focus on. It can improve focus and attention because it can give you that ability to release that excess energy. A lot of people who tap their foot or bounce in their chair have that excess energy. If they can focus it into something in their hands, then they're not bouncing and doing this and distracting everyone else. It also helps with sensory stimulation. So sometimes they need to touch, press, pull, push, move, whatever. And that provides that opportunity. And it can also help with self-regulation. Now, I have a couple items here that are classified as fidget toys. For me, they're just toys, but this would be one of them because it's flexible. It does this. You can swing it, you can move it, you can play with it, you can hold it. It's got prickly parts, it's got smooth parts. This part is really cool for sensories. Now, there was a lot of talk with kids about, well, if you give one child that, you need to give another child something because they're going to want it. And yes and no. Children are smart and they can realize that that's something that that child needs to help them focus, and they don't need that, so it's not so bad. But at the same time, if it doesn't hurt, give them one. I don't necessarily need something to focus, but having this in my hand and moving it around calms me, makes me feel okay, doesn't distract me. I can still think, I can still do what I want. So what would it hurt? This is something that I love. It could be classified as a fidget toy. I don't know that it would be, though. I mean, to me, it's more of a timer, but that's me. However, it can be very calming for emotions. So if you're feeling overstimulated or there's too much going on, you can now focus on the bubbles going down. I actually tend to focus on where the two colors meet and it creates purple because that makes me happy. Another fidget toy is your spinner. You'll see a couple themes here. I used to have light up ones. I had a lot of these. This one, there's a difference between a fidget toy and a toy. So a fidget toy is effective if it is simple, non-disruptive tool rather than a toy. This one could be a little bit disruptive. I find I have a tendency of wanting to watch it. And so if I'm supposed to be paying attention over here, this isn't going to do it. However, if I sat it on my desk and spun it and had to write and do work while it spun, and it gives me a natural timer and then allows me to stop what I'm doing, go back to it, spin it, go back and write. That could be helpful there. Doesn't make a lot of noise. It can be a positive option. You can also have just a open, close, open, close. There's a lot of 3D printing squares that just turn, 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 and they go into different colors and different shapes and stars and squares and stars and squares, and it just goes, and that's it. And that can be enough of a fidget toy for someone to be able to focus or pay attention or, hear what you're saying. Something as simple as that. Now, of course, I would then be like, open and close and open. I would play with it. Anyways. And then there's also this. Now, this is one of my favorite toys. Not sure how it would work as a fidget toy. I mean, it's beautiful. It does help calm. I have lots of fun with this one. But I feel that it is more of a toy. But for someone else, it might not be. It might be exactly what they need to be able to focus. So what is the function of a fidget toy? It is to help individuals manage sensory, cognitive, and emotional experiences. If it does not do that, then it's no longer a fidget toy. If you're not sure about a fidget toy and whether or not it would be beneficial, I say give it a try. It can't hurt. You can make fidget toys. Sometimes it can be a box with elastics on it that they just pull the elastics. Again, that might be a little annoying for a neurotypical person, but if it works for them, maybe it's a weaving toy. So many things that can be done. So you could take a clipboard, put in ribbons, put ribbons the other way, but leave spaces for you to be able to move the ribbon up and back and forth, and you would still have some secured so that they didn't move. But that would be a great focus point for somebody who needed that organization, sorting while doing other things. And also look at how you're utilizing them. This does not work if I've got to write unless I'm sitting it down. So let's try that. So say I sit it down on the table. We're going to pretend this is the table. Got to move my fingers out of the way. And you hold it on the table and then you spin it. And now it sits there. And now you have your hands and you can do stuff, but it's still there and you can turn to it and watch it. And when it stops, you can make it go again and then continue your work. So those are the things that you need to look at. How do you make it useful? And if it's not useful anymore, then it's a toy. And you've got to find something else. So thank you for joining me. I hope this was helpful. If you liked it, please hit like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And until the next time, bye for now.